I know it's only been a couple of days, but I just know you missed me. You guys missed me. I just can't prove it yet. Today we're going to be discussing books that I feel are way overhyped, and this is going to be my second time filming it. So maybe this video will, be shorter this time. Maybe I won't have to do a crap ton of editing, and maybe I should get a fucking stand. First book we're going to be discussing that is, in my mind, overall just overhyped is Icebreaker. Now, Icebreaker follows a girl named Anastasia. Anastasia, she's in therapy. She's trying to get her life together. She has a meal plan. She is a figure skater. And Josh is a hockey player, as you can see. He's the captain of the hockey team. Now, a prank ends up happening where the hockey team's skate rink is closed down. It is shut down. They cannot use that skating rink no more. So, that being said, they have to merge rinks. Now, there was nothing inherently wrong with this book. I want to preface that. I have no hate towards it. But it was also just not that damn memorable, in my opinion. I feel like I've read better Wattpad stories. Like, if you had told me this is published Wattpad, I wouldn't be surprised. It literally gives Wattpad. It wasn't anything overtly memorable about it, in my opinion. Now, Nate is a green flag. I will give it that. I want to see the tension between them. I want to see their relationship, but I want them to have deep conversations. I want them to have, tension. I want them to get to know each other. And then, after all that tension is released, yay. But this didn't have that, in my opinion. I feel like everything got sexual so quickly, I think the first sexual thing that happened on like page 100 or something, which is just not enough time for build up, in my opinion. It's not enough time for build up. 100 pages, no. Once again, nothing inherently wrong with this book. I just don't feel like it was worth the hype that it received in any way. I feel like this book was what everybody and their mamas was talking about. Even if you didn't read this book, you've probably heard of this book. Uh-oh, woohoo alert. He grabbed my waist, pulled me in close, and gave me a fat kick. I'm spinning like a ballerina. Dig. And it was trending for a while, and I just don't feel like it was worth the overall hype it was given. No hate towards people who like this book. If this is your number one favorite book, I'm not hating on you. I've read better, is all I gotta say. I've read better romance, and hey, I will take any and all recommendations from you guys. Now, moving on to the second book I've read that was just overall okay, it is Twisted Love. Now, Twisted Love was also trending for a absurd amount of time. And bro, when I tell you, if Alex was ugly, he would be in jail for assault for some of the shit he pulls in this book. I don't know why people like Alex. He's a red flag, in my opinion. And it's not even like a red flag that's ignorable. It's just like ill. It's just like ill, like there's nothing going for him, in my opinion, that would make her absolutely feral. Like, for what? I don't know. I just didn't see the appeal in the main guy at all. Twisted Love follows Ava Chet, and her brother Josh dips out to America. Where the fuck did he go in America? Nobody knows. He dips out to America, but before he leaves, he leaves Ava in the care of his best friend, who is Alex Volkov, and is like, yo, watch over her, bro. I trust in you, bro. You got this, bro. Like, my sister is just so naive. She's so fucking stupid. And I'm afraid if I leave, she'll follow somebody into an alley and get trafficked or something. So, watch over her like she's 2. And he agrees to do that. And first couple of days he dips out. Mind you, Ava's a 21-year-old woman. She can legally drink. Just throwing that out there. She, dare I say, decides to go take photos. She's like a photographer. And she decides to go take photos in lingerie with her best buddy or something, and he gets absolutely pissed at this bullshit. He's like, why is she over a guy's house? Is she having sex? And damn well he's a man whore, by the way. Why is she, I don't care, she's having sex. She can't have sex. What if she gets an STD? And busts in there while she's taking photos in lingerie, takes the camera from the guy, and is like,
if you release these photos, you gonna die.
Okay, don't you dare release these photos. And I wonder who was listening to that going like, oh my god, he's so jealous. Eventually, her and her op friends get together and have tea or whatever. And they're like, hey, so ha ha ha, you have to be looked after by Alex. Ha 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 ha. Hey, I have a very great idea. Why don't you try to make him feel every emotion possible? Because this guy is like a dish rag. He is unmoving. He is unaffected by shit. So, you know, you should try to affect him, make him feel like disgust and sadness and
joy and glee.
if for some reason like Ava decides this is the smartest idea, this is such a great idea, and she will 100% try to fuck with this man that is described to have insane amounts of wealth and built an empire at the ripe age of 14, and he has a photographic memory, and I'm 90% sure he's probably active in the gym. You know, why don't we fuck with this guy? Why don't we fuck with this guy who could potentially ruin our lives? Why don't we go for that? So she first emotion she wanted to make him feel was like sadness or something, and because she doesn't have the heart to actually try to hurt his feelings, she just brings over Marley and me to like try to make him cry or something. And so by the end of Marley and Me, she's like sobbing. And she's like, "Why aren't you crying?" And he's like, "I don't cry. Real men never cry." Duh, 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 duh. And so she proceeds to like try to tickle him. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, she's like, "I'm trying to find your box because obviously you're a machine. I'm trying to find your toolbox." And he's like, "Don't touch me again, or I'm gonna do something to you." Just mid, so mid, and I don't know. It wasn't that memorable for some reason. It really wasn't that memorable. Once again, it just kind of gave Wattpad. It just gave published Wattpad. Now, am I hating on Wattpad? I have an all books folder. Do you see that crisp number? I am not hating on Wattpad in any way, shape, or form. The issue comes with the fact that it is still, once again, published Wattpad. I have read some amazing, outstanding authors on Wattpad that I feel like would have 100% gotten the same amount of love that Icebreaker and the Twisted series get. You know, I am not hating on these books. Once again, in no way, shape, or form am I hating on these books. I just feel like for the amount of attention they got, they didn't really match up to the writing what level that I was expecting going in. I was expecting some peak literature, not Wattpad. You know, not something that I would read on my phone. Now, another trope, I'm not going to be just attacking Akatar here because I've seen this too many fucking times at this point. I am so sick of the trope where it's I'm 4'11" with an hourglass and I fight for my family. I drag deers through the woods to bring home to my family. I beat up 200-pound men. That's right, 5 of them. Am I saying that people that are 4'11" are not fucking evil? No, that's not what I'm saying that it doesn't necessarily make sense in my mind. It's hard to envision someone who's like 4'11" taking on like 3 200-pound men in a fight and winning. It's just, it seems so weird in my opinion. And it's like, you guys do know it's okay to have characters that like that have some muscle on them, even if they're malnourished. With the amount of sheer work they do, it makes sense for them to have some form of muscle on them. It makes sense to even just make them a little bit taller given how much hard labor they are described as doing. It doesn't make sense for them to be petite 4'11" with an hourglass all the fucking time, guys. It's okay to write women with different body structures than petite, even if later on their conditions change and they're not in a situation where they are malnourished anymore. It make more sense for them to start getting some bone density then. And I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick and tired of it. Now, I dropped Akatar. Fuck Akatar. I'd be saying, well, you have 4 books in Akatar, you know, why fuck Akatar? You know, you already read 4 books. I read 2.5. The first 2 books were good, in my opinion. But then I feel like we lost a plot after book 3. I feel like it I ended up dropping Akatar in like 2024 after there was this whole scene where there was like a war or something going on, and then they're in like tents or something. People are dying around them. They're bleeding out, screaming, crying, throwing up. They're screaming in pain, and Rise and his girl is like, "You want to know what's a great idea? You want to know what we should do right now?" No, no, find it. I legit can't find it because I took the bookmark out and I don't feel like looking for it anymore. It's been like 7 minutes. Just trust me. If someone could point it out in the comments, that would save me some time for sure. Let's move on to books I did like and I felt like were 100% worth the hype. I'm gonna be mentioning a series here, the Shadow Me series. I feel like I already mentioned this. I freaking loved the Shadow Me series. The Shadow Me series is one of the first books I ever read back in 2023 in terms of physical books, and it was a very good introduction. It follows a girl named Juliet Farrar. She is locked in a cell of some kind for killing somebody because you can't touch her. If you touch her, you die. Ultimate do not touch challenge. She can't touch anybody. Nobody can touch her. If they do, then they die, according to that kid that she randomly slammed out. So she's been locked up for.
I've been locked up for 264 days.
She's been locked up in this cage of some kind for killing this guy. She gets a visitor in the cage. I need to look up the names of these characters. So she gets locked in a cell with this guy named Adam, and they very quickly form a bond. At some point, Juliet is let out of there by Aaron Warner, and she gets let out by Aaron Warner, and she has this budding friendship with Adam Kent, who was in the cell with her, because he can touch her. The reason that Adam can touch Juliet is because his superpower can neutralize her power. It's one of those books where, yes, I will 100% be going in and rereading it at some point. Just, it's 6 books, man. I crammed through it. I binged it. I didn't move reading Shadow Me. That being said, however, because I binged it like nobody's business, there's a bunch of scenes that I just don't remember that I wish I did. But trust me, it is worth the hype it got. Shatter Me is 100% worth the hype it got. I don't care what you say. I will take no criticism on Shatter Me. I will take no criticism on my babies. Okay? They are my babies, and I love them. And I don't even want to talk too much about it. I really don't even want to talk too much about it. It's one of the books where you 100% just gotta go check it out, bro. Just go get it, go get it, go get it. And now another story I'm gonna be talking about is Emily Henry's Funny Story. Now, I've seen this displayed around Barnes and Noble. I've seen it everywhere. And I was so lit to read it. I was so lit to start Emily Henry, and lit I shall be, because lit it was. It was amazing. I love Emily Henry. I already bought another one of her books at Half Price Books just because I started reading Funny Story and I loved it. And I started reading another one of her books as well. I really liked Emily Henry. I really did. So Emily Henry, Funny Story, follows a girl named Daphne, and Daphne has not had the best luck with love in no shape or form, in which case he happens to meet Peter. He proposes. They're about to get married, bro. Now Peter has a best friend named Petra, and Petra is Peter's childhood best friend, right? That always works out so well. And it just so happens that Petra ended up accompanying Peter on his bachelorette party. Mind you, Daphne set herself up for failure because he was like, move in with me. You don't gotta pay no bills. Like, just live with me, bro. You don't even have to pay the bills. You don't gotta worry about nothing, mamas. I got you. So she's waiting up all night for him. He was expected to have been back hours ago, and he stumbles in the house. And Daphne's like, yo, where the hell you been? And he's like, I gotta tell you something. So I slept with Petra. What the fuck? Yeah, I slept with Petra, bro. And she's like, oh my god, that's wow. Just wow. And he's like, and we're gonna live together. And she's like, oh my gosh, well, I mean, when are you guys moving out? And he's like, yeah, actually, we're not moving out. You're moving out. Yeah, you gotta get out of my apartment, bro. So it just so happens that Petra was also in a relationship with this guy named Miles, and so because she literally doesn't know where the fuck to live and he doesn't know where the fuck to live, they end up becoming roommates, and they were roommates. I loved Funny Story. Funny Story, man, I reread it with my boyfriend. It was so good. Like, I highly recommend it if you're looking for something cutesy, something fun to read, because I didn't stop grinning this entire book. Is it a little bit corny? Is it a little bit cheesy with their millennial jokes? Yeah, but that's never stopped me. Okay, I was reading Omega X Alpha fan fiction. I don't care about millennial humor, bro, at all. But I loved it. It was a 5 out of 5. I had no complaints with their relationship, no complaints in the slightest. They are so cute together, and I wish them nothing but the best. And it was worth all the hype. I feel like everything was really well paced. I feel like they actually handled their issues very well considering all the stuff that happened. I really liked their banter. I like how it was built up. I like the side characters. I like the main characters. I like the plot. I genuinely loved this book and I highly recommend it if you're trying to get into romance. If you just want something that won't fill you with absolute dread, okay? Either because you just read something or you remember Trump is in office or something of the sort, I highly recommend Funny Story. Funny Story, place in my heart. Place in my heart. Okay, well, I'm gonna be wrapping this video up because too much runtime and I gotta edit this down. Isn't that so great? Isn't that so fun? Aren't you just so happy for me? Anyways, bye! Bye!
That's 200. just work it out, buddy. You got this.